What's up, y'all? It's Queen City. We at the Queen's Oasis. We are tuned in. Well, y'all tuned into us. Y'all are tuned into us. And we're going to talk about part 2. When we say, what was the last thing, Carmen? She going to give it to us because we ain't like it.
It was bitter women aren't human and broke men are mean.
Right. So let's talk about the broke men are mean part, because if you didn't get the bitter women aren't human.
Women aren't human, yeah.
If you missed that, go on back, check that out, and then come back
One
here,
more
all right?
episode. Watch that
Always
episode.
one more episode. So, let's go ahead and talk about what's in our cups first. What's in my cup is the same thing was in last cup. She said it was a green tea, John, you know? So, and I put a little cherries in it. You know that one time I was like, eyeballs, same. What you got, Lish?
I slid a little Red Bull in mine so I can stay up.
Yes.
Okay.
What about you, Carmi?
I'm still rocking out with my green tea.
Extra whiskey in
So
hers.
good.
Extra
Perfect.
whiskey in hers.
So if you haven't heard, we are the ladies of Queen City. Troi, Lish, Carm. We doing our thug thizzle. Cheers to you and cheers to us. Oh, mine ain't got enough. It ain't got enough. Anyway, all right, Carmen. Finish telling us about
Okay, so last
the
time,
men are mean.
Okay, right. Last time we talked about the women, you know, men got a gripe with women. Sometimes they be being bitter, and sometimes they kind of got a point, right? But sometimes this broke men are mean. I had a conversation about this where he was talking about, you know, he's at the point in his life where he doesn't define himself by his material possessions, and I was like, that's great, because there are men that we know and come in contact with who, when they don't feel successful, they make everybody feel what they feel, and that's bad. So I wanted to bring it to the Queen's Oasis. Okay, let's talk about it at the Queen's table. Okay, what are y'all experiences with that? Do y'all believe
With mean
that?
broke men?
Or do you believe, first and foremost, the last thing I said for the other side,
We didn't
did
believe.
not believe that.
We didn't believe.
So, do y'all believe that broke men are mean?
I think broke men have a mean spirit. I think they're mean-hearted.
Wow.
There's a bug on me.
And and I think it comes across that way. So I can agree with that.
Okay.
I think broke men feel a sense of misery and they don't know what to do with it. And yes, it comes off as mean, it comes off as cold, it comes off as everything they feel towards themselves, they project outward to everybody around them.
And let's just go ahead and just lay this as a blanket. We can say broke men and not mean every man in general
True.
who is
Come on.
broke.
Come
Because
on.
I know some men who are not the most well off, who are absolute saints, total
Yeah.
gentlemen,
Yeah.
really work hard to put their best foot forward
Yeah.
every day. We talking about everybody else, all right? So shout out to you, King. But everybody else, this one is for you.
Right.
And I
If the
also-
shoe fits you.
Yeah, I also think it has to do with how much that man is able to change his circumstances in the moment.
that's
Because if
good.
he is currently like I know a bunch of men, most men, let's be honest, because a man in general is not content in the space he's in. He's always wanting to move forward. He's always wanting to be ambitious. I think that's something that God gave men. I'ma just say that. I think
I would
most
agree.
I think a normal, healthy man is going to shoot for something, right? Else.
Yeah.
And so
purpose, I think, is a huge part of what I notice. Like, if they don't feel like they have a sense of purpose,
Yeah.
they feel a sense of lack. So, like, purpose motivates them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a masculine trait. I'll put it that way, because women are ambitious as well.
We can be,
But when a woman is ambitious, it comes off masculine. So I think we can, to men anyway. Well, whatever. That's another subject for another day.
Right.
But ambition in general, I think, is a more masculine trait.
Yeah.
And so with that being said, men who are full of masculinity, right, most times are searching for that higher step or that bigger thing or that wider range or whatever, that
little
next
more.
thing. They want
Yeah.
more. It's constant. They never get satisfied, which is what helps them provide, which is what makes them,
Yeah.
you know, protect us, provide us, and all of those things. And so I think if a man feels like he's on that path to getting higher, to going higher, to moving forward, he good, even if he not where he want to be.
Right.
But if he feel like he can't get where he want to be or is not able to for some reason, that's when we run into those
them one of them ones. And I think
one of them ones.
Lish, you making a good point, because when men kind of sit back and rest and not providing and not pursuing and not pushing forward, we call them sassy a lot, don't we?
Oh yeah.
We be calling them sassy because it's like, what you mean, come get you? And not to say that you can't give your man a ride or your friend a ride or whatever the case, but it's like when that's a man's expectation of us, we tend to be like, oh, he's all sassy. All right.
Because what this is.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I've had my share of experiences with mean men.
Yeah.
It
You
wasn't
feel like
always because they wasn't where they was wanting to be though.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
They could be mean for other reasons.
Right.
And that's the part.
Yeah, because
I
you
agree.
could just be mean.
You could
Right.
just be
That's
mean.
definitely a thing.
For me,
Go ahead.
a version of mean is deprivation. So if you're depriving me of the opportunity of spending time with you because of whatever you got going on, I feel a way about that. Because if you looking for somebody else, or if you doing a
Walk
thing,
in, and next
that-
thing you know, I hear
Right, just all this
the
yelling.
baby was screaming.
Yikes.
Oh.
All right. Anyway, okay, let's come back. So I think a level of meanness is deprivation. So when I'm deprived of your
true.
presence, when I'm deprived of the resources that you have, your knowledge, your laughter, your joy, your scent, your smell, for me, I'm like, damn, that's mean. And especially when you're depriving me of those things because of somebody else. Bring her along.
Wow.
I don't
That
deserve
took
to
a
be
turn.
by myself.
That took a turn.
And it's not, and she should be somebody I like. You should think that she's going to be beneficial to the thing. And that's not to say that I'm automatically going to be like, oh, we're a trio. But it's like, it's not fair. It is absolutely mean of you to expect me
out.
to be somewhere so that you can be elsewhere. I think that that's a version of mean that came with the broke nigga that I was messing with.
I don't know if that's because he was broke.
But I don't think it was because he was broke. He just happened to be broke.
He might have been broke.
And he was broken for sure.
Yeah, he just might
And
have
so
broke
was
in.
I. There was definitely something that I
Yeah.
wasn't providing to him as well within that state, because who in their right mind was going to be willing to be at home waiting for somebody who wasn't coming home?
Wow.
So somebody broke.
So maybe we're defining that it ain't broke men that are mean. It's
Broken
men that
men.
are mean, and they be broken.
It's broken
Yeah.
men that are mean. It has
Broken.
nothing to do with their
Yeah.
pockets.
Yeah, and you
I
can
like that.
be broken whether you have money or
Yep.
not.
Yep.
I
And
think that's fair.
let's also say the reason why you might be broken is because you are not in the place that you want to be. And you could have multiple reasons for that.
Now that I think is fair.
We
That's-
just making
fair.
up definitions
That's
for
very
things,
fair.
y'all.
Come
Tap
on
in.
now.
Tap in the
Broken
comments and see what
So,
y'all think.
Yeah, broken men
Broken
are mean.
men are mean.
Broken men are mean. I like
I
that.
think that's facts.
That's fair.
Because every man I feel like that I've encountered, whether that was my partner, whether that was a friend, whether it was someone that I interacted with at work or whatever the case, I feel like when they were mean, it was because, and let's tie it into the last joint, it probably had something to do with the fact that they were sad and hurt.
I was about to, can I touch on that?
Yes.
Because a lot of people are still dealing with they pre-K or kindergarten heartbreak.
A lot of men. And that's so
Men
true.
are dealing with the heartbreak of Susie from
when she was
first
5.
grade
You want to know something?
and taking it out on us.
I had a conversation with a couple friends one time, and the guy that we were talking with is a friend from college, right? None of us were dating him and nothing like that. We're just a group of friends, right? And we were talking about heartbreak when it comes to men. And he was saying that the only girl that really gets the most pure version of a man is the first love. Because once you break a man's heart, he's never ever the same.
Hold on to it forever, and it's so weird.
You're psycho.
And even if they don't hold on to it, they remember the feeling and they don't ever allow themselves to be that vulnerable again.
Go to
That's
therapy.
Wild. Yeah, y'all gotta go talk to the lady.
But is it fair to say that even talking to the lady, they may never open up to that capacity
You
again?
know something?
Never.
I'm gonna tell you
I don't
the
think
truth.
that's wrong.
I'm gonna tell you something. An ex of mine definitely went and talked to a female therapist, right? Psychiatrist, psychologist. I'm not sure what her certification was, but I asked him if I thought, and I also have talked with actual professionals about this, and my thought was the same as yours, that like, you know, men are going to open up to a woman, and really that's not the case. They do open up to women.
Oh no, I don't
who
think
are-
they wouldn't open up to a woman.
No, but I'm saying they are very vulnerable in that space when it is like when they're seeing someone for therapy. They do open up and they tell that person when it's a one-on-one situation. My ex was saying that because he had a lot of trauma, I guess I want to say, of a sexual nature from childhood, like he felt more comfortable having that conversation with a woman rather than a man.
Yeah.
So like if they're willing to go to therapy when it's a opposite sex dynamic, they can be very vulnerable.
You know what though? I also know men. I think men are willing to be vulnerable with women when they first meet them because it's a way to hook them. There is a level of vulnerability that is at its peak at that first moment. I think.
That's very interesting because you're not, like, I don't know any men who will meet a woman and say, I was a shitty boyfriend to her. Like, they would say, they might play the victim and say, like, oh, she hurt me, or I'm really hurt, which might be true.
Yeah.
But, like, they might be hurt because they was on some shit.
Right.
You know?
You hurt yourself.
Yeah. I think it's that's a tricky slope for sure. But you said something about depriving you. I think neglect is definitely a form of being mean.
Yes.
For sure.
And I notice, and we don't have this issue, but I notice this a lot in men. It's like if they're not where they want to be, sometimes they punish themselves with work. When really what might refresh them is a break. It's like, no, I'm not at the point where I can take a vacation yet. And it's like, nobody said you had to be going for 3 months, my guy. Like, you can take 2 days.
A weekend is sufficient.
You know what I'm saying? And go breathe some different air, go climb a tree, or go frolic, or go like
Get inspired
you know
a different
Get
way.
in some water. Like, you know, that is still valuable towards your purpose. Like, you being renewed is a thing. And I wonder how many men who are on, like, chasing a certain life that they want or chasing success see the value in, you know, taking a moment
Rest
to, like,
and relaxation.
rest, yeah, and reboot.
I don't think they do. They don't see it.
I wonder,
I am.
do y'all be doing that? Y'all be resting?
Do you rest? gentlemen?
take breaks?
The Leo rest, 100%.
And I'm not saying like when you go home and play your video game. That's
Oh, you
not
talking
what
about
I'm
men?
talking about.
I was about to say, yo, yes, she does rest.
No, not
does.
y'all.
The men
I'm
folk.
talking about men, like, because you know they be watching. I just want to know, do y'all decide to take a break sometimes so that you can get back to work more refreshed? Like, is that an intentional part of your process in caring for yourself? Because, like, you can go home and play your video game, sure, that's fine, but, like,
I've seen both sides. I've
Yeah.
seen people who never stop. And I've also seen guys, like I had a conversation with Bay. And we talk about this all the time. Like, what would we do if we like hit the lottery or came into like all of this money?
yeah.
And he says that the first thing he would do is take a vacation because he has to reset his brain to assess what he's going to do with the funds.
Oh,
Like,
who
he
likes
gotta,
that?
yes. And so he has a very good understanding, like he has to rest in order to have the capacity to gain what he needs to gain mentally to make a strategic plan for what he's going to do next. And so I think there are men who are like that. I think that's a business-minded person.
I love that.
I think that type of person
Ooh, child, it's hot.
has an understanding of themselves. because you got to be able to understand yourself to be like, okay, this is what I need to do to reset.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's almost a lack of understanding of what is necessary to be successful.
Oh, that's a real thing too. I think a lot of us struggle with that, and that's not a male or female thing. That's I think that is a
Human thing.
It's not a human thing necessarily, but you know when they're talking about the upper class, the middle class, or the lower class, I think that's a class thing.
You think
Anything under the upper class doesn't understand how to gain success. They don't understand how to value their hour. They don't understand how to build community and collaborate to actually achieve success, because that's really what it is. Most of the people who are middle class and underclass are trying to get it from the muscle by themselves.
Figuring it out.
And the problem is you're never going to figure it out by yourself. You need a team. You need a community. You need a squad to figure it out, because
a mentor,
you don't know. You for sure need a mentor. You for sure need a coach. You need to know what books to read. And a lot of times we don't know what it is that's necessary or what is even required for success to happen.
Interesting.
So what did we decide? Like, are broken men? Because
People-
are we
women-
talking about
we
broken
decided-
men?
No, we decided that
What
women
was the
aren't.
conclusion?
Women are not inhumane. They
Okay.
have feelings and they operate from what they know. They use the best that they have to they make the best decisions based on what it is that they know.
Okay.
We've also learned that broken men do the same thing. So there is really no disconnect between the two, but what really needs to happen is healing and communication and community. So that we can serve ourselves and we can serve our next generation and we can serve our elders in the best way possible. That's what we've decided throughout these two conversations.
But also, what I
Period.
would say is this: heal yourself and then return.
Yeah,
To your
and that
community.
goes for men
Don't-
and women.
I think that it's abuse to subject other people in your community, your wife, your sister, your brother, your children, to you bleeding on them.
Yeah.
Like, go be in the hospital. Like,
Yeah.
take care of yourself and
That's
then
fair.
return.
Yeah.
Return better so that you have something to offer without like cutting everybody else up too. Because now
Yeah.
I also need therapy.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying?
That's
You not
facts.
being whole. So
Let me-
go get whole and then
Let me talk about community, partnership, and accountability on that specific topic. A lot of people don't know that they're broken. A lot of people don't know that they cut or bleeding out. So sometimes it takes a person to show a mirror, to put a mirror up, or to say, have you tried? In an effort to help them heal themselves so that they can be the best version of them for all of us. So that's also an aspect of it all that's missing. We aren't living for each other. Everybody's trying to, I'm doing it for me and mine, you know, and that's it. Everybody can get, but you don't understand that your neighbor over there has a valuable piece of your whole. And your neighbor down the street has a valuable piece of your whole. And your partner, whomever you're just discarding or hurting or whatever it is,
And vice versa.
and you too. Like, everybody has a valuable piece of the whole that will never be completed if we don't see ourselves and if we're unwilling to see each other.
Fair.
On that note, hit us up. Let us know how you're navigating, how you're healing, how you're relating, you know, with one another, and where you fall on the spectrum. Like, are you, you know, acknowledging where you're broken and getting that together with, or are you like, you know what, everybody else better adjust to me, or
Oof.
like, you know, raise your hand so we know where you at, so we don't be there. You know.
We ain't going there with you.
Not with you, not this time. Well, we are Queen City.
Yeah.
We love y'all. I don't know if we said that yet, but we love y'all. We
We
appreciate
do.
y'all. And you've been sticking around for these 21 episodes. 22 episodes, then you are our loyal royals. You feel me? We are not just for the queens. We are for the queens and the kings. We are for the princes and the princesses.
Yeah.
We love y'all. So until next time, just watch one more episode. We
Yeah.
Queen City, and we out.
We out. We in the pool though. Woo, baby. It's hot. Let me out of here.
I did with you.
Did with me, sis.
Come on, Carmen.
She went all the way down. Don't go all the way down. Hold my hand.
Yeah, I can't.
Oh, I drilled it. Look,
Yeah.
she drilled it.
Please, because the lifeguard is sick of us.